Well, we lost our way in terms of our execution. I thought we still had plenty of opportunities, even in the last quarter, to win the game. But not so much our decision-making. I thought our decision-making was okay. Just our execution of the kick. Some basic aerial mistakes. Ball gets over the back, particularly on the kick-in. And they score from that. Losing John Cock and Yench hurt us badly from a rotation point of view, and I thought their first half in particular was, until John Cock got hurt, were really important players for us, so we had trouble covering those. But once again, in the last quarter we had opportunities, but just we couldn't take them.
Was that last half, nine Essendon's run of 9 goals, I think, out of the last 10. What went wrong there from your perspective?
Well, we just couldn't execute. We had opportunities going inside. We had 60 inside 50s to 47. Even in the last quarter, our capacity just to hit the body going into the inside 50. You do that correctly, and you can break that sequence. So it's not as if we didn't have opportunities. Sometimes you don't even, when you have that sort of sequence, it can be just an avalanche. And I certainly didn't feel it was an avalanche. We had opportunities to break that sequence of goals, but we couldn't take them. So that's different to probably what's happened against Port out here, Collingwood, where we couldn't even get hold of the ball. We could actually get it, but we just couldn't finish.
Neil, what positives did you take out of that match?
I liked our first half in particular, when we basically had, pretty much our full team. So our ball movement was quicker than we've seen for a long period of time. It was crisp. I thought our effort all night was pretty good. I thought the guys hung in there really well under the circumstances they faced. So I'd say our ball movement and our general effort and competitive nature was pretty good.
Naturally, when you came in, you looked pretty frustrated and disappointed by the loss, and obviously over the last 8 weeks or 9 or 10 weeks, given the buys, you've lost 7 of 8 matches. From your perspective, you said early in the season you're loving the challenge of coaching.
Yeah.
How is that now having an impact on you? Is it frustrating?
No, nothing changes. Nothing changes.
Neil, what does change though is the way the fans will react. How should they see that game?
I'll take it on face value, Michelangelo. I think I would think they would have been really pleased with what they saw in the first half. They would be disappointed with the errors we made in the second half, particularly I thought the last quarter, when we still had opportunities to win the game. And I think our fans would appreciate the effort that our players gave. But they'd be disappointed with the loss. 38,000 showed up against a powerful Melbourne club. So they would have seen some good stuff, but in the end they'd be disappointed with the loss.
Do you think they'll understand it? Why it would happen?
They, for the ones that listen to the press conference, in the end they'll make their own judgment on it. But yeah.
Neil, if it's a skill thing, how does that drop away so severely from one half to another?
When you lose 2 running players, the workload shifts enormously. So, I need to look at it again, and there'll be some which, will just be non-acceptable, Scott, but there'll also be some which are caused from just a workload, a fatigue factor that creeps into the game. And they were 2 really important players for us in the game. And Gary's enormous drive and movement out of defence, for our ball movement. 2 running players. So all of a sudden you lose those out of your system, and we weren't able to probably cover them, really.
Now, what did you make of the way the ball did move forward in that second half, particularly if you only finish up with scoring 2 goals?
Yeah. No, it's once again, as I said with Steve, I thought we had the opportunities to go into their forward 50, but just the number of times that we missed targets, poor takes. Rory Sloane misses one from the goal square. So, those sort of things, Michelangelo, whereas in the first half, we were hitting targets, we were crisp, we're going in. So, then all of a sudden you get, 9 out of 10.
Neil, clearance was an issue again in the second half in particular?
Last quarter in particular, yep. Yep. So pretty good early. I thought we were okay early, but yeah, the last quarter was -10, I think. That kills you. Yeah.
Does Thompson need more help in there? I mean, he's doing an incredible load and we have more than 20 contested possessions.
Mm.
He needs some. Sloan was good in that aspect again tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the answer to that is, Steve, is yes, and we'll continue to get help through there. We tried David McKay through there tonight as to have a look at David as a midfielder rather than a winger, and probably we need to do some more work with David to have a look at that because he gives us something different. We've got guys going through there, but certainly Scott's been very good all year in the midfield and has shouldered the workload. But we'll continue to look for help and find him help. Certainly the first half, you'd have to say that some of our clearance work and our ball movement, sharing the workload. But in the end, it just got too much for us.
How much did you feel your hand? I mean, I know you've lose two and your hands are tight, but how difficult was it to work out how to then keep your rotations working?
Well, with the side that we had, and we might have been a smidgen tall going into the game, but whilst we had the full side available, Michelangelo, we handled it okay. But once we lost those two guys in particular, we're hamstrung in terms of rotations, no doubt. No doubt.
Do you feel a sense of frustration from that?
From
what you've seen tonight and the way it's all unfolded?
I feel for the players because I thought their effort was, for the whole night was up to a level that we would expect. Now their execution we can be criticised for, but I thought their capacity to hang in there and keep fighting, and probably for 90% of the game we're sort of in the lead of the game. So, I feel for the players in terms of their frustration, and they are frustrated with the result. And also our supporters, 38,000 that come along. I mean, they'd be really disappointed with the end result. Hopefully they saw some good things.
What do you think the Marmain will bring this week then?
I don't know, probably a mixture of what we've been getting.
Okay.